Welcome to this week's episode of The Locker Room. Filling in for Justin Lindler, I'm your host, Vincent Arceo. Joining me today is...
Dillon Clark.
And I'm Matt Bumbaca.
Thanks for joining me today, guys. Today we're going to talk about some of the playoff series going on. So let's start with the NHL. What teams have surprised you thus far?
Well, I think there was a lot of hype surrounding this series between the Anaheim Ducks and the San Jose Sharks coming into this postseason, but I was really surprised by the way it turned out. The Sharks sweeping the Ducks out of the playoffs. I expected a lot more from them. They got their goaltender, John Gibson, back. I expected them to put up a lot more of a fight, and now they're not even in the playoffs anymore.
Yeah, and piggybacking off that, another sweep in the playoffs was the Vegas Golden Knights getting the sweep against the LA Kings. It was big to see the defenseman Braden McNabb scoring the game-winning goal against the team that put him up for the expansion draft just last season. It was a really great story to see coming from the Vegas Golden Knights.
Who has let you down this far, and who has actually been your MVP also?
Well, I think as far in terms of MVPs, I think Marc-Andre Fleury's been absolutely fantastic. He had 2 shutouts in the like Matt said, in the sweep of the LA Kings. He had .65 goals against average and .977 save percentage. He's been absolutely fantastic. And in terms of letdowns, the Capitals, they haven't come out as strong this year as I would have expected them to. They were able just last night to tie up the series against Columbus, but it's taken them a lot more. It took them a couple of overtimes to get the win in Game 3, and they're going to need to find a lot more if they want to get into that second round. If they're going to get past Columbus at all, it's going to take a lot.
Well, for me, I got to say it is Sidney Crosby of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He has been fantastic so far this playoff series and has been one of the best players in the NHL for quite some time now. In just 4 games, he has 5 goals and 4 assists. That's 9 points. And he passed Mario Lemieux for the most points in playoff history for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
So let's talk NBA. What teams have surprised you, and what teams have been a letdown?
So I'm going to say that the 76ers and Miami Heat series has been the most entertaining. Dwayne Wade had that big Game 2 to tie the series at 1-1. But just last night, Philly went down to Miami and put a beat down on them, beat them by like 20 points. Joel Embiid is back, and Ben Simmons played a great game, almost notched another triple-double, and that has definitely been the most entertaining series. But so far for letdowns, I got to go with Portland. They're sitting in a 3-0 hole right now against the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Washington Wizards so far in the first 2 games up in Toronto have been a huge disappointment. I understand that they're the 8th seed, going up against the 1 in the East, but Washington really has been a letdown so far. They're pretty upsetting, and I think that they could get swept by the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Matt. The Sixers, that series, it's been a lot of fun to watch, but I've been let down the most by the way the Spurs have been playing. I mean, I know that they're going up against the Warriors, and nobody wants to do that, but I really think that they could have made a lot more of they could have made it a lot more competitive. Now they find themselves in that 3-0 hole going back now for Game 4. So it's again, they're gonna have to dig deep if they want to get out of that.
Yeah. So DeMar DeRozan, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, they've all been MVPs this season. But who do you think has been the MVP of all of the playoffs?
Yeah, it's still early in the playoffs, but like you said, everybody that you just named so far, I mean, Donovan Mitchell has been great for the Utah Jazz. Right now, that series tied up at 1-1, going back to Utah. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. That's going to be a great series, probably going to go deep, 6-7 games. And you look at the same situation over on the East in that 4-5 matchup with the Indiana Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron really has to put that entire team on his back, and he's the best player in the world, has been for quite some time. He had 46 just the other night to tie that series up 1-1. And, I mean, when you look at it, it's tough to argue against LeBron James.
Yeah, I got to agree with Matt again on this one. LeBron James, he is the best player in the world, and there's a lot of arguments about that. And they say I think Kevin Durant was in the conversation for the things he's been able to do with the Warriors this postseason, but still, I think LeBron eclipses that without any question. Yeah,
and DeRozan had 37 the other night against the Wizards. He's been playing really well, and I got to mention Rajon Rondo of the New Orleans Pelicans has been playing at an exceptionally high level. In the past 5 playoff games that he's played in, he has won as an underdog, going back to last season when he played with the Bulls, beating the top-seeded Celtics in the first 2 games of that series in TD Garden, and then he got hurt. The Bulls ended up losing that series. But so far, He's led that 6-seeded Pelicans team to a 3-0 lead up against the Portland Trailblazers. He's played really well. Just last night, he had 16 points and 11 assists for the New Orleans Pelicans.
We've reached the point in the episode where I hit you guys with rapid fire questions. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the NFL draft is next week. Who's the number 1 pick?
I got to go with Saquon Barkley.
I'm going to go quarterback, Sam Darnold.
Nice, nice. Will Lamar Jackson play quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the rumors that he was getting bumped out to wide receiver, but I think they're just rumors. He's going to play quarterback.
He will play quarterback, and he will be a first-round pick.
Gotcha. The feud between Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons over who should win NBA Rookie of the Year. Who should get it?
I got to go with Ben Simmons. I mean, you just look at the way he's played. Ben Simmons he played his first games this year. He's a rookie. He's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Ben Simmons averaging roughly 16 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. It's kind of unmatched, and he definitely has notched, I want to say, 12 triple-doubles as a rookie. Pretty much unheard of, and he deserves the Rookie of the Year. I understand that he rode the bench on an NBA roster all last season, but it's his first time playing. He was hurt all last year. I got to give Rookie of the Year to Ben Simmons.
Thank you so much. And finally, the Red Sox are currently the best team in the MLB with a 15-2 record. What do you think has been the driving factor in their success?
I mean, their pitching's been lights out all season so far, and I think that's. I mean, you got to look at it. It's probably going to continue, and they're probably just going to get better. So I think the pitching is the biggest factor.
Yeah, they have a great staff. Porcello's been pitching really well, and Chris Sale is a Cy Young candidate year in and year out. But my answer here is timely hitting. I want to say Mookie Betts has been playing like an MVP so far this season, batting .390, which is absurd, and he has 5 home runs to go with it. That Red Sox offense is potent, and with his staff like that, that's why they're 15-2.
Yeah. Well, that does it for this week's episode of The Locker Room, guys. Thanks for joining me this week.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Anytime. Thank you for having us, Vince.
Be sure to tune in next week for another episode of The Locker Room. See you soon.